At our daughter's ceremony, my husband stood up and ended our marriage. I remember the sound of forks dropping and someone whispering, "Is this real?" His new woman smirked, certain she'd replaced me. She didn't realize the envelope in my purse was already counting down the minutes to their downfall. The moment those words left Evan's mouth, the air felt thin. He didn't even look nervous, just satisfied. He lifted his glass like it was a toast and said louder, "I think it's time everyone knows that Maya and I have decided to separate. It's been a long time coming." Someone gasped. A plate clattered. Lily, our daughter, froze mid-smile. I stared at him, then at the woman beside him, Callie, who tucked her hair behind her ear and gave this tiny smirk like she'd already stepped into my life and locked the door behind her. I didn't cry. I didn't ask why. I just reached into my purse, pulled out the pale blue envelope, and quietly placed it in front of him. "What's this?" he asked. "You'll want to read it," I said, and kissed Lily's cheek. "This is still your day." Then I walked away. I didn't rush. I didn't shake. Just walked, hearing whispers behind me, people trying to make sense of something they never expected to witness. Lily caught up to me in the parking lot, breath shaky. "Mom, what is happening?" I held her face gently. "Not now, sweetheart. I swear. I'll explain everything tonight." "Did you know?" "I knew enough." Her eyes filled. "Dad humiliated you." "No," I said softly. "He exposed himself." She swallowed hard. "What was in the envelope?" "The beginning," I said, "of his consequences." Later that night, at home, Evan barged through the door without knocking. His tie was loose, his face blotchy, and he held the envelope like it was a snake. "What is this?" he demanded. "You read it." "That's not an answer." "What the hell is this, Anna?" "Truth," I said. "The thing you've been hiding from." He threw the papers onto the counter. "You hired an attorney? You filed already? You froze accounts? You cheated," I said calmly. "You lied. You funneled money. And you rehearsed ending our marriage at our daughter's ceremony like it was a movie monologue." He stared at me, stunned. "You knew?" "For months." Evan's voice cracked. "Then why didn't you confront me?" "Because I wanted to see how far you'd go." He sat slowly in a chair, rubbing his hands over his face. "This wasn't supposed to happen like this." "No?" I asked. "How is it supposed to happen?" "I thought," he took a breath, "I thought I'd tell you after the ceremony. It would be cleaner." "Clean?" I laughed. "You thought humiliating me in front of 200 people was clean?" He winced. "I didn't think you'd react like that." "You don't know me anymore," I said. "Or maybe you never did." He looked genuinely shaken, and for a second I saw guilt slip through the cracks. "Anna, look, things with you and me. Don't start that. You stopped being present. You worked too much. You were always tired." "I worked too much," I repeated slowly, "because I was carrying everything you dropped." He fell silent. Lily appeared in the doorway then, eyes red. "Dad," she said in a small voice, "why did you do that to Mom today?" He stood, reaching toward her. "Sweetheart, don't." She stepped back. "You ruined my graduation party. You embarrassed her. You embarrassed me." "Listen." "No," she said firmly. "You don't get to spin this." Evan's eyes welled. "Lily, I didn't mean to hurt you." "You didn't think," she whispered. "That's the problem." She looked at me, voice trembling. "Mom, come stay with me tonight. Please." I nodded. "I think that's a good idea." Evan took a step forward. "Anna, don't walk out like this." "You walked out a long time ago," I said. And I left with our daughter. At Lily's apartment, curled on her sofa, she finally asked, "Mom, how long has this been going on?" I exhaled. "Months. Maybe longer." "And the money stuff?" He tried to move large amounts quietly. He underestimated the fact that I notice everything. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted you to finish your semester without being dragged into our mess. Her chin quivered. I wish you'd told me. I would have been here for you. You're here now, I whispered, brushing her hair back. That's what matters. She laid her head on my shoulder. Mom, I'm proud of you. I didn't cry, but the relief that washed through me felt like finally breathing after months underwater. The next few weeks moved quickly: lawyers, mediation sessions, evidence, financial disclosures. Evan tried calling repeatedly. Sometimes he sounded angry, sometimes desperate. He asked if we could talk privately, but there was nothing left to say outside the courtroom. One morning, he caught me outside my house. Anna, he said, eyes tired, voice softer than usual. Can we just talk like normal people? We aren't normal people anymore. I never meant for it to get this bad. You planned everything, except the part where I don't collapse on command. He swallowed. I made mistakes. You made choices. I corrected. Big difference. He sighed deeply. Callie is not who I thought. That isn't my problem. He nodded slowly, defeated. I know. He looked at the ground for a long moment before saying, I miss the way you used to look at me. I miss the man you used to be, I replied. But he's gone. When I walked back into the house, I didn't shake. I didn't feel shattered. I just felt done. Completely and finally done. The first hearing came faster than Evan expected. He arrived with a young attorney who looked like she'd never handled a messy divorce before. My lawyer, Miss. Daniel's calm, seasoned, unbothered, looked like she'd seen this story 100 times. When the judge reviewed the financial evidence, Evan's face drained. There are repeated transfers to unverified accounts, the judge said. Mr. Hayes, can you explain this? Evan cleared his throat. It was business-related. Miss Daniels stood. Your Honor, here are the receipts showing those transfers were used for hotels, jewelry, and trips unrelated to business. The judge raised an eyebrow. Is that accurate? Evan's attorney stammered. We need additional time to review. No need, the judge said. The documents are clear. I didn't look at Evan, but I felt him look at me, finally understanding he'd lost control of the narrative. After the hearing, he caught up to me in the hallway. Anna, please, he said, voice raw. This is ruining me. You ruined yourself, I replied. I was stupid. I know. I was selfish. But can the two of us fix this without lawyers? No, I said simply. He blinked rapidly. There's nothing I can say? No. He stepped back as though I'd struck him. Then I guess this is it. It's been it for a long time, Evan. He nodded once, defeated, and walked away. 2 months later, the divorce finalized. I received what the court determined I was entitled to. Evan left with significantly less than he imagined. Callie, apparently, had moved on to someone with more stability. Lily helped me move into a small house near a lake. Not huge, but mine. Completely mine. One evening, we unpacked dishes while music played softly in the background. Mom, she said, leaning against the counter, I don't think you realize how strong you are. I don't feel strong, I admitted. You were married 24 years. You were betrayed. You were humiliated in public. And you still held your head up. She squeezed my hand. You didn't just survive, Mom. You rebuilt. I swallowed tears that surprised me. I'm trying. You're doing, she corrected. A week later, Evan left a voicemail. His voice cracked halfway through. I messed up. I know I can't fix it. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I didn't call back. Not out of anger, but because my story wasn't rooted in him anymore. It was rooted in the quiet mornings in my new home. in the sunlight on the lake, in the freedom to breathe without waiting for the next disappointment. The envelope didn't break him. It revealed him. And while he unraveled, I rebuilt, piece by quiet piece, until I became someone I could finally recognize again. Someone whole, someone steady, someone free.